Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching
Fanboy.
Fanboy,
fanboy, etc.
Fanboy Nation.
I assume Tom.
We're talking about a fun family Christmas. No, I'm totally kidding. Breakwater is absolutely dark and delightful and quite refreshing because I'm not used to being that white-knuckled watching a film, at least in the last 5 years.
Wow. Thank you. That's high praise for sure. And this is definitely the dark side of your Christmas holiday. There's some fluffier stuff out there who wants to talk about anyone but you. But Breakwater's this a serious antidote to that. So when you're like really bummed out after spending all Christmas with your family and watching fluffy stuff, come see Breakwater. It'll make your weekend.
With a great this is the first time I get to talk to you. The very first movie of yours I ever saw was Career Opportunities, so I always have to mention that movie.
Well, that's the best kind of movie to talk about on Fanboy Nation. That if ever, that was like OG Fanboy. That like invented the term, I think. Not for me, but for Jennifer Connelly and the scenarios they arranged for us in that movie. It is so funny because it's a wreck. Everybody knows that, right? It's back when they could put a studio movie out that was just like completely all over the place. And now it turns out they were right. They should have put more movies out like that because people love it. Do you guys know this movie, Darren, Career Opportunities?
No, sounds like I need to.
Oh my God. Anyhow, I'm thrilled we're still talking about it. Thank you so much. I can't believe it, frankly, but it is a true thing.
Well, I am thrilled we're talking about Breakwater. There are no loopholes in this movie. There are no holes in this film. This is a completely solid film with all your performances being just magnificent. You know, Alyssa, there is a line from the trailer that Darren spits out that doesn't ruin the film, but he's like, the devil doesn't come for somebody, and I'm paraphrasing, that doesn't deserve it. And
yeah, the devil doesn't come for the innocent.
Thank you.
And yeah.
And you look very innocent, but you got your moments too.
100%. 100%. I think that Eve has gotten really good at walking around with a mask up to the point where she believes that mask is 100% real. You know what I mean? That is who she is in her world. So Dovey coming in, played by Darren, and unraveling that, that throws her off just a little bit.
Darren, how are you the least guilty person in this film as an ex-con?
Hey, you know what? He's just a fun, lovable guy that, he's the best friend you could ask for. I think that's how he's ended up in jail where, at least I feel he shouldn't have, in kind of wrong place, wrong time, where he was still trying to do the right thing. That's how he ended up in there. And he's continuing to just be that, he says what it is and means what he says, and he says what he means kind of guy, which is nice to live inside of, really.
And a nice foil for a character like mine who isn't who he says he is and is lying most of the time. So that's the basic story how those people clash. Yeah.
And working with James Rowe, I mean, his eye just for shadowing and the lighting and the visual storytelling that goes along with the words on the page and the way you guys bring it to life just blew me away because, again, we're not used to something that's this complex, yet white-knuckling on the chair going, oh my God, I have to see where this is going to take us.
I love it. James Rowe, of course, had it all in his mind. Kai Krause is the cinematographer who brought it, shot it all himself too. He handheld. Of course, we're in such tight places in that boat and in conditions some of which you can't imagine. And look what happened. You work that hard to make a movie that's supposed to look like a movie and feel like a movie. Guess what? It does. So it's so beautiful. The way it looks is so intricately tied to the type of movie it is. It is the story. It is why movies like this should be made, so we can watch things that look like that and then have the story twist you around too.
You know, with everything going on right now and the rise of the indies, you know, it's this ebb and flow. Like the 70s had this type of dark, you know, deep cinematic storytelling. The 90s did the same thing, and here we are back again. How significant is it when you get to make a movie that impacts the audience to the point of, oh my God, they only had between 15 to 40 days to make this thing, and then on top of it, you know, tell a story that we're interested in that isn't bombarded with special effects or CG.
Right. Right. Well, I'll just quickly in the beginning, sorry, Darren, say right now it's crucial because there's actually more competition because of the way people are watching films at home on streamers. So what we're hoping we see, there's a couple of new theaters that actually opened here in Los Angeles, is that it breaks through, and we have another one of those. We're right on time. If it's the 70s, the 90s, it right now would be an incredible time to start seeing movies like this in theaters and appreciating films again for quality instead of for quantity, quite frankly.
Yeah, these are the stories that I hope people watch, you know. These are the best kind of stories. And I think these are the best kind of projects to work on because everybody's doing it for the right reason, because we
Yeah.
love telling great stories. And so
And you can't tell this story any other way. You couldn't write this in a novel because you can't write a flashback. So much of it's visual reveals, etc. So you can't paint it and do it justice. That we need independent films to tell stories like this from creative voices like James Rowe in this production. So thank you so much for helping us promote it, because even that has to be part of this, or people don't know about it and can't see, and then we can't build on the progress that we've made just in this last year or two. The system broke down, our culture broke down, and people hand making movies continued. It's an evolution, and we are here to be a part of that.
and
Well,
telling
you can ask your PR team. If I didn't like the movie, I wouldn't be here right now. But I do have to ask this final question because I know we're running out of time. So sorry, Darren, I know you're going to make a point. When somebody like James is the writer and the director, how much are you able to put in your own input versus him being married to the word on the page and then wanting it a specific way to come out on camera as the director as well?
Yeah.
James had a really nice balance, I found, of I love working with a writer director because, you know, it's all inside of them. He really knows exactly his vision and these people well, so you can trust him in going to him with your questions and that he does know the answers. But he also gave us a lot of freedom to fill in some of those blanks that weren't on the page. And I think that's the really beautiful collaborative process that is what filmmaking is all about.
Well,
Yes,
everyone, thank you so much for your time. I'm so sorry I got the 1 minute wrap up warning. You know, I could talk to you guys all day about this film, but Breakwater is absolutely fantastic. When you get a chance to see it, you know, hopefully people will be commenting on it for months and years to come.
absolutely. They sure will, no doubt. This movie will live forever.
All right. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and whatever else you're celebrating. You know, it's fantastic. I'm even flabbergasted that I still get to talk to you guys about it.